This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. This is the third episode of 5 of me highlighting the board games that I was most excited about after going to the Gama trade show, which was a few weeks ago in Las Vegas, where industry professionals like distributors, publishers, retailers get together and a lot of new games are announced. So I was there checking it out. So let's keep going with this list of the ones that I was most excited about that's coming out later this year. Now first here is Indie Boards and Cards. They come out with a trick-taking game called Trickster, Champions of Time. Artwork looks awesome on this, and I love trick-taking games. I'm liking them more and more, and this one seems to be one of those ones that has more layers of depth. Typically I like trick-taking games that are very much familiar, but yet have a quick little few tweaks here that make the game feel very different. This one's kind of going in a different direction where it seems like there's going to be a lot more depth in this one, a little bit more complexity where each of the cards are going to have some special abilities that you'll be able to do certain things with. So it intrigues me because I love trick-taking games, and once in a while I won't mind trying one that seems like it's going to be deeper than some of the other ones. So I'm really looking forward to this one to see how deep is it, what can they do with it, and try to play with some special abilities. It sounds interesting to me. The next one is called Delve. This is one that combines both tile laying with a narrative experience, and narrative being very thematic. You're going through a dungeon through tile laying, and at the end, once the gold is there and you've killed the monsters, you have to fight each other to get the gold. So it just sounds pretty interesting, and so that's why that one's on this list. Next, we're going to talk about Cosmos. They have 3 games in a series coming out, which is going to be their escape room sort of series. They're called Exit the Game. I saw them there. Actually, by the time this video has come out, I'll probably have had a review for at least one of these by then. The Abandoned Cabin is one of them. Pharaoh's Tomb and the Secret Lab. These are all small boxes. They come mostly with just cards and a spinny wheel type of thing. But I gotta say, the puzzles in these are pretty much out of the box. They're different from normal ones. They're a little bit deeper. Again, by the time you see this, go back to my review on this where I fully review it. But I'm excited because these are only $15 a piece, and they're probably like $10 on my sponsor Miniature Market's website. They play 1 to 2 hours. They have a wheel that's similar to sort of the Escape the Room series, but those are more for families. These are more gamer oriented. These are challenging puzzles. And they got some out-of-the-box ways of doing things. I can't spoil anything here because I have played these. But these are ones that if you like escape room games, this is going to be the new flagship series of these. So check these out as they're coming out. This one is Kerala. It's for 2 to 5 players, plays in about 30 minutes. This is sort of a family-level Spiel des Jahres weight game. Where basically it's tile drafting. A lot of hate drafting too. This game can get a little mean. And you're playing tiles, and you have to play tiles of an adjacent color, and then you're moving your elephant. But you're only getting points if you've got pretty much all of the colors. And so you're trying to do that, and with tile drafting, you can build over bad ones. So if you don't want that one there anymore, you can build over them. But again, just sort of a family-style game that has a little bit of an edge to it with the drafting where, hey, I know you need this tile. I'm going to take it even though I could use it, but something else might be better. So a family-style game with a bite, I'd say. Next one is called Brutal Kingdom. This is, I'd say, probably a micro game, I guess you could call it. It's about 20 cards. Artwork in this game is phenomenal. I saw some of the cards while I was there. Essentially, it's got this sort of love letter feel where you're basically playing 4 cards in a round, and there's only 4 rounds. So over the course of the game, you're only playing 16 cards. But each round, when you're playing the 4 cards, you're basically activating a special ability, similar to Love Letter, but this is a lot more mean. It's called Brutal Kingdom for a reason, where you're really trying to execute other people's cards and flip over their entire pile so they don't get any points. This game also has a very interesting point scoring mechanism where, depending on however many tokens of each color left over, that's how many they're worth if you have them. So if there's not very many that are taken, they're worth a lot of points, but not a lot of people have them. Similar to, say, how a game called Longhorn was scored, if you're familiar with that. But this one looks awesome, and it looks like it takes that sort of micro game, love letter-ish feel and brings it to like a next level where it's more gamery. There's more going on. Still simple, but yet more depth. So that's why I'm interested in that one. Last one here is called Column of Fire. Now, this is a game that's a sequel to Pillars of the Earth, done by the same designer as well. It's coming out, I believe, September 8th. It's going to coincide with the actual launch of the novel, which is also obviously a sequel of Pillar of the Earth, called Column of Fire. I don't know anything else. They wouldn't tell us anything else other than it's worker placement, but it has some more going on. There's some intrigue going on. That's all we know. But if it's done by the same person that did Pillars of the Earth, it's a sequel to the book. This is one that's got to be on your radar, and that's Column of Fire, coming out September 8th. All right, next is Matago. They got a game coming out called Princess Jing, and this is done by Roberto Fraga, one of my favorite designers of like crazy zany games, you know, like Dr. Eureka, and I think Pingo Pingo, and Captain Sonar. And so this is actually a two-player sort of an abstract game where you're trying to get the princess you're trying to find where the other player's princess is, and you're moving them around the board. But the cool thing is the way you capture them is you can see your side of things, they can see their side of things, you can't see each other's. But one of them has a mirror, and so you're trying to move your mirror around, and when you do it, it's facing, so you're looking at the mirror, and you can see what person is behind there from them. But you might be bluffing, because if they know where your mirror is, well, it's tough for you. So you might be putting a thing and pretending to look at the mirror. But if you ever do get the mirror where their princess is, you capture and you win. And it just seems like a really cool idea of like bluffing, sort of almost like a newer version of Stratego, if you will, where you can see your side, not their side, and bluffing. But this cool mirror thing really has me intrigued, and Roberto Fraga is awesome. So that's why that one's on the list. Next one for them is like a zany party game called Meeple Circus. It's supposed to be like a crazy dexterity stacking game where you're stacking meeples of circus and acrobats and horses and things like that. Sort of a real-time thing. And I like zany games. You know, you look at, for example, you know, Happy Salmon, what that did last year. So I don't mind to try some of these zany games and be excited about them because they are just fun for icebreakers and getting people together. So that's from Matago. From Mayday Games, Macroscope. This is a game that came out last year in Europe. I actually have a copy of it. I reviewed it very favorably. I gave it a Saxophone Serenade. This is a really fun family-level game where you're basically trying to see little pieces of a clue, of like a picture of some kind. It's sort of like a charcoal drawing. And as you roll dice, you get to choose certain numbers to pull off. And you get to say whether you want to guess or not. If you guess wrong, you know, you lose some cubes. Some crystals. If you guess right, you get cubes. Depending, the faster you do it, the more cubes you get. So it's a very interesting thing where it's super simple. It's very fun and engaging. It's sort of like it's basically a party game for families, but it's very fun, and they're bringing that over here. I think May-ish. I think it's going to come out. A really good game there. The next one is called Rooster Rush. It was previously published by called Gaijin Dash, which is like Foreigner Dash. Essentially, it's like Frogger the game, where in this case it's going to be roosters rushing across the street. And in this case, it's done by Antoine Bauza, by the way. Wow, hey, big name. You know what? Antoine did a smaller game before called Open Sesame that I really loved. So I'm really interested to see how he does in these other smaller games like this. In this game, you're trying to get your person across the street. There's different symbols of different cars that are going by. And as you're going, it's real time. Everyone spins a coin, and as those are spinning, you're picking certain things. And if certain coin sides come up, then you get crushed. And so there's a sort of a guessing game, sort of a speed game, sort of a little party game there. But hey, when Antoine Bauza does something, it gets your attention. And when he's already done smaller, lighter games that I liked, then, you know, I'm going to take a stab at this. And Mayday's good at publishing and having a knack for finding these fun little party-style games that have a little bit more going on than first appear. But it used to be called Gaijin Dash. You could probably look at some videos for that before this comes out to see if this is something you might want to see. All right, well, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned. Later in the week, we're going to be putting out another episode of more of the games I'm excited about.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.